Hit 'Em Up. How was it like when that song first dropped?
I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was funny as hell, to be honest with you. I mean, I just thought it was funny. I'm like, yeah, they taking it was serious. Like, I really wish that beef didn't go down like it went down.
What you said?
I think it cost them more than anything else. I think that beef and that energy that Pac carried on with that put him in the situation where he ended up losing his life. And I say that because he went there. You know what I mean? He went there to the point where he was thugging, and it went from the records into the streets. And all that negative energy, when you got so much negative and bad energy built up, the slightest thing can turn you. So now, like you said, they're in Vegas and they run into a dude. Look what happens. You gone now. And I think with that negative energy, with the West Coast, East Coast, and all that built up, that's just a part of, the bad vibe. Because dude's supposed to be here still doing what he's doing. I personally think that if Pac and Big had never died, you wouldn't hear so much of the garbage records you hear now. Think about it. I mean, it hit, and not calling P garbage because I love P. First time I heard Master P was through Tupac. Ice Cream Man, Tupac was playing in the studio.
Oh, for real? So Tupac used to listen to...
That's who I knew. I'm like, who the hell is that? That's how I knew who Master P was. It was Tupac. That's how I knew about Master P.
What did Tupac say about Master P to you?
Man, he just played it. That was the crazy part. But he played it. But you look at, and that's when P them took off. When Pac and Biggie died, that's when all the South really took off. Southern music took off. You think about it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
and ever since them major cats passed away, what you been hearing lately?
The South, pretty much.
They opened it up to the record companies. I think they looked at people from the South as not dangerous. It wasn't so much of a war going on, and okay, we can make some money off of this because it's not a war going on. The West Coast and East Coast ain't killing each other, and everybody from West Coast and East Coast. Because I'm still trying to figure out when they say West Coast and East Coast, it was only two cats. And from my understanding, from hearing the people that talk about Biggie, he really didn't want trying to be a part of none of that.
So Tupac and Suge Knight, from your point of view, you being around, how's their relationship like?
Man, they was good. They was always good together as far as what I saw. I never saw nothing crazy with them though. Every time they were together, they was riding with each other. They was rolling. They was doing their thing. It wasn't nothing bad.
How you feel about people that say Suge Knight was a bad influence on them?
Oh, that's kind of, it's crazy. I always thought that Pac, not a bad influence. I always thought that Pac would have Suge with that energy. Because from my understanding, when people used to say, well, Pac, Suge was around, he wasn't like that. Think about it. You never really knew who Suge was. He didn't come out like that until that All Eyes on Me album hit, and he started being in the forefront. Think about it. You never saw this dude on anything when it had to do with the Chronic, when it first came out, Snoop stuff when they first came out. When did you see Suge? Pop. That's when you saw the Vibe magazine with the pictures and all that, but you didn't see that any other time. So who you really think wrung that out of him? He didn't do it no other time. He didn't do it with Dre and all them. So all of a sudden, they must have had.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about it like that. When Tupac did join Death Row, you did start seeing Suge Knight come in the forefront. He was on magazines and stuff like that. So
he was in the back. He was that dude, but you was hearing, you don't want to mess with this dude, big old dude, da 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 da. That's all you heard. And then all of a sudden, he on the magazine and doing all those things. So.
How you feel about people that say Tupac was going to leave Death Row?
I can see that. Why would he stay? Man, you doing your thing. I don't think Pop let's say it this way. I don't see Pop just being there to be an artist. I mean, when he used to talk to us about, you know what I mean, the business and being on your business and knowing your paperwork and all these things and, you know, staying on top of things. He did talk about that. He talked about reading, you know, being educated, you know, stuff that, you know, we looking at it like, come on, man. Reading books. I'm not reading no books, man. You know, time reading the book. We on the road, baby. We finna have a good time. But I mean, he talked about a lot of that stuff. He kept it real when it wasn't around a lot of people. He wasn't like that.
Did he ever tell you about, you know, because, I mean, you got people, man, that say, you know, Tupac wasn't getting the money he was supposed to get. I actually heard that he was actually getting like a allowance. I think his bodyguard, Frank Alexander, said that.
I heard that. I heard it.
Then you had Danny Boy. He did a few interviews saying the same thing.
I wouldn't be shocked because you got to realize, man, Suge controlled everything, and in the office, you know, they try to play stupid all the time. Like, you know, like we start realizing, man, it was Suge. And I ain't gonna never see him say Suge was a bad cat, man, because dude was always good to us. And if I called him and I needed him, he was always there. But the bull crap came with getting your money on time.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Because if he didn't sign off, this they bullcrap words of, if he didn't sign off on the check when the check's supposed to be due, you had to sit. And then Suge was on some bull that, you know, one thing we learned about Suge, if he call a meeting, and if he say the meeting's at 7, don't show your ass up until about 12. Because he ain't going to show up to 12. And we learned it one time. We was sitting there. And we had sat there and sat there and sat there. So we ended up going home. He gonna call right after we get home. While his condo was right around in the back. He had a condo, we found out. That's where he was at all the time. Right behind Can-Am Studios. How we know it? Because he ended up giving us the damn condo later on down the line. When everything was, you know, dropping down when Pac died and all that. That's where we were staying instead of staying in hotels. And in the apartment we were staying in. But, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
You know, people say, you know, not even with Tupac. You got Tupac, even Snoop, you know, pretty much everybody that was on death row, they pretty much said,
oh, nothing was in your name.
Yeah, nothing, the cars, the houses, nothing, the jewelry,
nothing. And when they gave us the one the car that they did give us, because when we signed, they was trying to give us a lot of money. Now, one thing we did know, you're not going to give us all this money and then we got to recoup it. So we didn't do it like that. The advances we took short change on. The apartment, we made sure we only got 2. They was trying to give us some other stuff. We like, nope. You're going to give us 2 apartments. We can, you know what I mean, 2-bedroom apartments. We did that. And we asked for per diems every month. I mean, we got monthlies every month. We made sure of that. But, hell, getting it took forever.
So y'all made sure y'all was on y'all stuff and y'all got what y'all got.
You had to be. Because when they was trying to hit everybody with the books later on down the line, they couldn't hit us with the books because we had already coordinated with the apartment people, so we knew what we was getting. We had already hit up on everything on the studio, so we knew what the prices was on that. Because the budget that they was trying to put us with, when they was like, if y'all trying to leave, this is what y'all, no, we was like, no, yeah, we don't. We don't owe that. There's no way in the world we owe $1 million. We ain't even recorded $1 million worth of nothing. How we owe you $1 million? And that's how they was trying to get everybody, and they was locking everybody in. And even trying to leave was even hard because if somebody knew you was on Death Row Records, trying to do another deal was going to be impossible. Because they would worry about Suge popping up.
Out of curiosity, man, how was y'all surviving on Death Row? Y'all as a group, 6 Feet Deep. Like, because you know y'all didn't come out with an album or anything like that. So out of curiosity, how was y'all surviving on Death Row?
Suge still made sure we were straight. He did. Like I said, I ain't got nothing. Man, listen, man. Dude, whatever he did with everybody else, that's on them. We never got that. We never got that from him. Not one time. We never got that. And then if it was an issue, we'll talk. We'll discuss it. And even after the group and all that, me and the dude, we stayed in touch. We stayed in touch. I would see him. I'd go down to the Four Seasons, hang out. We try to do stuff. I would always try to bring in different artists and this and that, in different situations. And I mean, he was always there. Or if I called him, if I needed him at that time, sometimes I need, you Yeah, man, meet me at my condo that he had on Wilshire, and he would look out. So, you know, what other people got from it, what they got from, I didn't get it from him.